Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Freezer!
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, yeah. Here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yeah. Tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes me.
Welcome to Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio. It's Tangent Tuesday, and that can mean only one thing. Tangent Tuesday means that we have Miss Carrie Melinek with us in the house. Hey, Carrie, what's up?
Hello, yay!
I don't have
I
any
love
music,
that
I'm sorry.
it's gone like it has an official name, Tangent Tuesday. That's
Yes,
perfect.
well, that's exactly what we do on Tuesdays.
Yes,
We
that's
go
true.
on we go on mini tangents, most of them not related to anything in the news, which is awesome, especially given the circumstances that are here.
Yes. People are insane.
It is. It is very true. People are insane. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this is Mojo 50. You are listening to the radio station that is Mojo 50 if you're listening at all. And if you're watching on the Facebooks, it's Mojo 50 or at DOA Show. We do have the Twitters at DOA Show, Facebook's at DOA Show. Heck, MeWe, DOA Show. Oh, and you can also watch us if you'd like to on DLive, which is dlive.tv/DOAE Show. I think I got it all.
You got it covered.
I think I got it. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, use the hashtag arm yourselves when you do respond to us at DOA Show on the Twitters. And also don't forget to go to our website, which is, you guessed it, doaeshow.com. I think we nailed it. I think we nailed this thing.
Think you got it all.
Maybe, probably not. I've probably missed something or screwed something up, and Dylan will send me a message later, from the cyberspace.
He should have been sitting right next to you if he wanted something different.
I know. If he wanted it done the way that he likes it, he should have been here. Dang it.
There you go.
Darned AI and going off on cyber trips.
Crazy.
Junk. What's wrong with them? Freaking AI. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thank you for coming aboard with us today, Carrie.
Yeah. Very happy to be here.
All right, so we've had a lot of stories coming in and out. Of the news cycle. Mainly, most of the stories going in are stories that we don't want to talk about. But something that came out quickly and left just as fast was the story of Pope Francis here on Easter Sunday, just a little while back. And well, heck, I'll just read it to you, Carrie. Whenever you need to, please just react. It's fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Pope Francis used an Easter message to advocate for socialism and universal basic wages. Yes, Carrie.
Oh no, that's just America.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay,
What
got
a
it.
time to have that Easter message. That is nothing about the Easter message. And
Nothing about it.
Shame on him. But
Jesus
gone.
died and rose again for your salvation and your universal basic wage.
Absolutely. That sounds really good.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Writing to the leaders of social movements across the globe, Francis said the universal basic income, something that only far left American politicians support, would achieve an ideal. Quote, "This may be the time to consider a universal basic wage, which would acknowledge and dignify the noble, essential task you carry out," Francis wrote. "It would ensure and concretely achieve the ideal at once, so human and so Christian, of no workers without rights."
Okay. What does this have to do with Jesus, second person of the Trinity, rising from the dead, overcoming death and the grave, that we celebrate? The tomb is empty.
Yes.
This is what we're celebrating.
Yes.
I don't remember reading in any of the Gospels that part about universal wages or anything with politics.
Ah,
in the
see.
Easter story.
See, that's where you're mistaken, Carrie. That's where you're mistaken.
frustrating.
Pastor Carrie doesn't know her Bible, obviously.
I know.
She hasn't
obviously.
read Second Hesitations.
It gives me mega hesitations. I mean, shame on him. Shame on him. And it's so frustrating because I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be wrong. But the Pope, and I grew up Catholic, the Pope is supposed to be the earthly mouthpiece for God
Yes.
in the Catholic belief.
Correct.
So shame, shame, shame,
Shame.
shame.
Lots of shame. Quote, our civilization, so competitive, so individualistic, with its phonetic rhythm and production and of consumption and its extravagant luxuries, its disproportionate profits for just a few, need to downshift, take stock, and renew itself, he said.
Now, time out. When he first became Pope,
Yeah.
I thought it was wonderful. His first actions as Pope were great. The not taking advantage of the lavish lifestyle that he really could have.
Yes.
You know, still.
Oh, you
getting
mean
his
the lavish
papers.
lifestyle that he still takes in?
Well, you know, but he wasn't going to live the life of luxury. He was going to continue.
No, I'm sorry.
What?
I've got to stop you there.
Okay, go ahead.
He's the Pope, yes?
Yep.
Does he live in the Vatican?
Yes, he does. When he was originally going there, he wasn't going, or I don't, and I could be wrong here, but he wasn't going to move into the full like papal palace.
Come on.
Do you not remember this?
I remember his talk about this, but come on, really?
Well, now I need
The
to look it
Pope
up.
isn't going to live in the Vatican.
Well, hold on.
He isn't going to live behind a giant stone wall that protects
saying that
the
he
most
doesn't-
valuable portions of society and religion in the lap of luxury
I get
in the
that.
Mediterranean.
Hold on.
He's not gonna live there.
Well, no, I get it. I'm saying he was not going to live in the full. Yeah, he is not living. In 2013, the Vatican announced that Pope Francis would not move into the papal apartment in the Apostolic Palace.
Uh-huh.
He is the first pope not to live in the papal apartments on the third floor since Pope Pius X occupied them in 1903.
So what floor does he
uses
live
the
on?
palace suite there as his office.
Okay, so what floor does he live on?
So he lives
Just
he
in the
lives
city?
in a suite he does live in Vatican City still. Let's see here. Let's see, I'm trying to find it. So he moved out of the room he drew by lot. He lives in suite 201. This is in 2013 when he was first there. A room that has slightly more elegant furnishings and a larger living room where he can receive guests. So not more lavish than the papal apartment, but it's much smaller.
Much smaller than the papal
Much
apartment,
smaller
but
and not-
still
It is still in Vatican City.
right. It is still in Vatican City. It is still enshrouded in this this regalness. This is. It's not like he's outside of the walls and he has to travel in every day.
No, but he was the first one since 1903 and which is just, I gave him a lot of credit. I mean, he was still getting his own paper and
Okay.
still, you know, I mean, like he was. at
Sure.
the
So
start.
he liked basic things, and that's fine, and that's good. And And yeah, that would put you in a better position if you were trying to be a man of the people. And it would also put you in a better position if you were trying to portray yourself as a man of the people, which he is. He's trying to portray himself as a man of the people, not really a man of God, but a man of the people.
Right.
There's a very big difference.
Absolutely. Talk about the difference while I look something up.
Okay. Well, for me anyway, I don't care where the Pope lives. First off, the Pope, he's not to me, the Pope is not the rock, the cornerstone of the church, because one, I'm not Catholic, and two, I wouldn't believe that another man could take the place. He is an idol to me above all else. But as the Pope, if you were trying to be a man for the people and not a man for God, you'll do things like this Pope does, where you'll talk about, the economy, and you'll talk about green stuff and socialism and all the rest of it, because you are a person who's looking out for the people, not looking out for God's will. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think that he is. I think he does look to. This is driving me nuts. I can't find where it says this. Dang it. He does look to worldly things. It seems like he forgets the whole "our citizenship is not here" verse in the Bible, right? That our citizenship is in heaven. That we're but travelers here, aliens here, and that seems to go forgotten because there are a lot of concerns with man and man's problems here, which now, as a religious leader, I think he should have something to say, some thoughts to put into it. But as a religious leader, he also should not have political thoughts or input.
Well, that I do disagree with. I do disagree with that.
I don't. From the pulpit to be preaching politics?
Yeah, Black
Absolutely
Robe Regiment.
not. Huh?
Black Robe Regiment.
I don't. From the pulpit, that is not the place to preach politics.
Well, from the pulpit, so until the last 150 years, the pulpit was basically the one place where you got news. It was a place where not only did you hear about what was happening around you and you helped out, but you also heard about Christ and about the church and about what you should be doing in your spiritual life and teachings of that. But you also heard about the political realm, the news coming out from different locations, because it was the one place where everybody gathered. And so it was at one time the place where the news like that was actually part of the sermon.
I need to read some older sermons.
Yeah, you do.
I've read a lot of older sermons, but I guess most of them are from like Middle Ages.
Right. Middle Ages, not so much. Like Middle Ages, you don't go. No, I'm talking about like in America. American sermons, turn of the century. American sermons, revolutionary times. The Black Robe Regiment was actually one of the biggest reasons why the British hated us. Mm-hmm. They attacked pastors and burnt down churches, not because they had a problem with religion, but because they had a problem with American religion. Because in the pulpit you learned about freedom, and in the pulpit you learned that the true king.
Right. I gotcha. I think, I've got a whole, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A whole page. Yeah, like the first one's from Charles Finney. Not a huge Finney fan.
I'm not a Finney fan. No. Like, you have to go
Finney
way
fan.
back.
That's fun.
He's okay.
But yes,
still.
I will. I'll read some.
Definitely. And so I'm okay with you as a pastor, or you as, I guess, the Pope, being involved, or at least speaking what you think as a person, but making sure to separate that out from the faith, unless you actually are teaching biblical faith truths. If you're teaching truths but using real life stuff and real life politics to convey it to people, that's different.
So, okay, so easy target here,
Yeah.
abortion.
Sure. Right.
So biblically,
Wrong.
it is wrong.
Completely
right?
wrong. It's killing.
You have
It's killing of innocence.
absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
what we, thou shalt not murder. It is murder.
So you can build a very quick, very swift, very thorough case
Sure.
biblically against abortion.
Yes.
You can do that without putting politics into it. You can
Right.
even talk about the situation in this country with abortion without bringing politics into it.
Yes, you can. But what I will say to you there is politics wasn't always politics. Politics was culture. Culture got taken over by politics.
Right. Well,
So what
the
we
whole-
believed in the culture of the time and what we thought about as a society became or was taken over by politics. Politicians decided to use it in their talks. And then it
Okay.
became law. And then it became all this other crap. So what we think about as politics today, abortion is technically not politics.
Right.
Abortion is
But it's been made a political
correct.
issue.
Abortion is not a political issue. It was made a political issue. It was a cultural issue. It was, hey, is it right to murder? Yes or no?
Right,
No.
no.
Then it became a woman's rights issue. Not a right to life, but a right to women not having a child.
Right.
There's a big difference. That became political. That is beyond the pale. Should we still be able to talk about it in church?
Yes.
Yes, because it's
it is
not
not
a
a
political
political
issue.
issue.
It's a life and death
Right.
issue. It's a spiritual
Right.
issue. You being controlled by a government that is unruly, unjust, and unfavorable. Is that something that technically should be talked about in the church?
Well, biblically, though,
Biblically, the God told Israel that when He puts a king over them, that they will hate Him, and He will control them, and He will enslave them, and He will rule over them, and He will take their men to make war, and He will take their women for Himself, and all the rest of it, which is what happens, because
right.
because men are crazy and evil. By men, I
Right.
mean mankind. We're crazy and evil.
Right.
and
right.
corrupt.
Absolutely. So, but it also, it talks about give to Caesar what is Caesar's,
Right?
pray for and respect the authorities which are over you.
Yep.
And so there is still, it just does not get like, how are you voting? How are you? And people try to,
Right.
politicians do this where they try to drag religion into politics.
Correct. Yes.
And it's just unbelievable. Buttigieg, how much he tried to use religion the same way that the Pope shouldn't be using religion to spout politics, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
And politicians use religion to spout politics too, and they shouldn't. There was a presidential candidate. This is when we lived in Charleston.
Yeah.
A presidential candidate who went to a big mega church to talk there one Sunday, and they had him
Right.
doing that. And I thought, no, dude, you are not a pastor anymore. You've chosen to be a politician.
So get out of the pastoral place.
Get out of
Yes.
because that was wrong to me.
Correct.
I didn't go to that church. It was 90 minutes away anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have had that church anyway. But
Right.
I wouldn't have gone.
Right. Well, and I understand that, and that's completely fine. That's a politician trying to interweave faith into bringing people on behind him, and that's not right. That's not correct. That's not what we're talking
And I
about.
could be wrong. I don't know a ton about Pence.
Mm-hmm.
From what it seems, Pence is very firm saying, I am a Christian
Yes.
and I live my Christian values, and I could be totally wrong. I have not observed but I didn't pay a lot of attention to him during the presidential election.
Right.
I didn't observe him trying to use that
No, he didn't.
religiosity.
No, he didn't. He's just very stern and stoic in his faith.
Right.
He's just very, very solid line. This is my line. I do not pass it. This is
Right.
my faith. I do not go beyond it. You know, that
Right.
sort of guy. And that's
Like,
fine.
This is what determines my life. This is how I,
Yeah.
choose whatever. This is how I my worldview is filtered through this. I mean, that is absolutely. I would expect that anyone's worldview would be how they filter anything. So to ask only the Christian politician how he or she, if they're up for Supreme Court, that, well, are you going to stop Roe v. Wade? Is that, well, okay, back up. You are, I live my life as a Christian, my
Right.
Christian beliefs. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd get you there, and that does make sense. What you're saying, it makes perfect sense. I just when I say, like, if a pope or a pastor or somebody like that goes into the pulpit and they start saying things that we would consider nowadays political, a lot of the times they aren't actually political. Now, espousing socialism and worshiping the earth, that's political and not Christian. It's political and not Christian. Those two things mean that he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right. And back up one more second, just a practical aspect of this. The moment I speak something political from the pulpit,
Right.
I lose half my congregation's ears, right? I mean,
Yes, that's true. You will.
That's a
Yes.
practical aspect of it. So that's just...
Yes, practicality included. Full practicality included. The moment that you become political at the pulpit, because of the way that we view politics today, you completely destroy half your audience immediately.
Right.
Even if it is your church, even if it is the church that you go to, and everybody should, probably have a similar mindset somewhere in that range.
Well, it was really interesting. There was someone in the same church body as me, which there's a lot of. It's relatively broad.
It's gonna be pretty expansive there.
Yeah, but he would post, and I was always shocked about this. I've not been on Twitter since October or something, so it's crazy.
It's good for you not to be on Twitter right now.
I know, but I haven't even opened it up. I'm nothing. So anyway, but I was shocked. This Twitter friend, I guess, I don't follower, whatever I follow. Anyway, he was in the same church body as me, and he was in a pretty conservative town, very small congregation, and he would post political, really, really left political things. And I thought, what are you doing, dude? This is not a good idea. And there was one time where he posted, well, Dinesh D'Souza, I have congregants that are wanting to go see Dinesh D'Souza. He's going to be in town. And I don't know if as their pastor, I should just tell them they shouldn't go because, and he made all this list of how evil Dinesh D'Souza was.
It's Dinesh D'Souza.
I know. But I thought,
what's wrong with that
dude,
guy?
He even wrote that there were several of his congregants that were planning on going. And I'm like, dude,
maybe
it's a small congregation.
Yeah.
You are turning off probably 2/3 of your congregation by this one tweet. Is
if
it
they
worth
followed
it?
you. If they follow you, which
If
they
they follow
probably
you.
don't.
Well, but you need to be able to trust even if you disagree. Oh gosh, the music, seriously?
I know already, right?
Tangent Tuesday strikes again.
See, that's how this works. Anyway, that is the music. So we're going to hit a commercial break. With that, we'll be right back. See, we only got through a half a story And
I know.
that was 26 minutes right there.
Oh my gosh.
Just like
I
gone.
thought you were going to have this story, and I cannot find it, where Pope Francis said creation is not going to forgive us or something,
Oh, no. Come on.
or nature is not. What was it? I cannot find it. Nature is not going to forgive us.
Oh yeah, he was talking some pretty trashy stuff about how we're all gonna die from Mother Nature because we're killing the planet or something.
Yes, on Earth Day. There it is. I finally
Yeah, that
found
was
it.
Earth Day. That's not Easter. That was Earth Day. Is the difference?
Oh, well, we can talk about this one too.
We did.
Oh, well,
We did.
we did?
We did. Uh-huh.
You did.
No. We did.
How do I not? Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that.
Uh-huh.
I have a pretty good memory too.
I know you do. Most of the time.
Shoot.
Uh-huh. Well, this show goes by so fast. I mean,
It does. That's true. That is true. Oh, you know what? Did I send it in?
uh-huh.
Yes, I sent that one. And it was at the same time that we did the homeschooling one?
I believe so. And
Okay,
so the
yes, I do
homeschooling
remember.
one took more time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh
Yep,
my
yep, yep.
gosh.
See?
I do remember that.
See? It took you a minute,
Yep.
but you got it.
Yep.
You got
I
it.
remember. Okay. Just a little slow.
That's fine. Everybody's a little tired lately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's just say it's a good thing you're not on Twitter.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
Okay. I believe it. I miss being able to communicate with some people, but that's okay.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome back to Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio, DOAEshow.com, DOAEshow.com. Also, go to mojo50.com where you can find, a litany of hosts, station IDs, all the rest of it. If you want to listen to some podcasts or you want to hear some great audio from the talk radio sect, go to mojo50.com. Mojo50.com also has a shop where you can get wonderful things like all the Mojo gear. You can also get KMBD's, CBD oils. You can get the mugs, the cups, the shirts, the logos. And don't forget, show some love to our weekend folks. We have a lot of shows, and some of them actually fall on the weekend. I know. Difficult time to play a radio broadcast. Difficult time. Nobody wants to listen to the radio on a weekend, I hear. That's not true. You guys actually do great and listen a lot, including on the weekends. Give some love to those weekend folks. They are incredibly smart, and they only get an hour a week to really go through all the processes with you. So check those out. Check everybody out over at mojo50.com. Make sure to hit the donate button when you do. If you give $25 or more, you get a Rocky Stucci limited edition Meatball Army t-shirt. It's a gift from us to show you our thanks for you giving a gift to us. It makes sense.
Gift from us for a gift to us.
That's right.
Perfect.
We're gifting.
Everyone wins.
Right. We all win. Plus,
Perfect.
don't forget, you can also check out Rocky Stucci. He is midnight, Monday through Friday, Eastern Time. Midnight Eastern Time, which means that he starts the radio day. So check him out. He dives into everything, whether it's religion, whether it's faith, whether it's spirituality, ghosts even, the paranormal in general. He goes through all of it. All of it. Oh, and if you have some of those crazy conspiracy theories, Rocky Stucci wants to hear it.
He's your guy.
Uh-huh. He is the emotional meatball, and you can be part of the Meatball Army, or you can at least just show the support to Mojo 50, donating $25 or more, and you can get a shirt for the Meatball Army. Check him out today. Rocky Stucci, midnight Eastern Time. So,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Carrie,
Yes, I'm worried. What's up?
did you know
Probably not.
that half of Americans still say that the Bible should influence our laws?
Half of the Americans?
Still
The
say?
Americans. Half Americans still think the Bible should influence our laws. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
A poll from the Pew Research Center this poll shows that half of Americans still want the Bible to have at least some influence on the laws in the U.S. And when the will of the people comes in conflict with the Bible, more than a quarter side with having the Bible hold influence.
Wow.
Survey detailed posted showed that 49% of U.S. adults say that the Bible should have a greater deal. 23% say some, and 26% influence on the laws that we use. The polls also said that 50% of Americans say that the Bible should have not much influence. 19% saying not at all.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. I'm surprised it's as high as it is. I would have thought that the not at all or not much would have been
Much higher.
much, much higher.
Right. Same here. I thought the same thing. But apparently, we still have 50% of the population that actually wants some sort of biblical law basis, which is kind of funny because if you understand what the Constitution is, going back to the Black
Right.
Robe Regiment and everything we just talked about, if you understand where the Constitution came from, the foundations of it, why we have it, why we have the the Bill of Rights, you would understand that we wouldn't have any of that without the Christian biblical understanding.
Right. I bet that the sad thing, and I think I have friends and or family that would fall into this camp of the I'm Christian, but I don't think the Bible needs to have influence over the law.
Then you're wrong.
Right. I'm just saying I think I have
Oh, I know.
lots of-
I know people. Yeah. I know people like that. But I that's the question I ask them then is, okay, so thou shalt not kill.
right. What's your basis for that?
Right. Why shouldn't we murder somebody? Why shouldn't we steal things? Why is it bad to take your neighbor's stuff?
That is, I think Ravi Zacharias does a great job of backing people up from that question of, well, I'm not going to kill. Okay, but what's the source of that? He does.
Why?
He does a really good job of walking through the argument of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely
And-
agree. And it's an argument that you should have with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be
Yeah.
just one thing that you hear from this guy. Obviously, you don't think about it until you get pushed by somebody to do that. But this should be something that you've thought about as
Right.
a person, as a
Right.
human being. Why do you think that that's a bad thing?
Well, and I think that it's kind of interesting because I think with I'm reading a book right now. It's where is it? Oh, here.
There.
I've got it.
Hey.
It's
Book plug.
the beauty of intolerance.
Okay.
Which is actually they named it this on purpose because they said, the one of the authors, it's a father-son author team or co-authoring.
Cool.
And I think it's the son that has a t-shirt where it says, I love intolerance or something like that. And then on the back, because people are like, what? And on
Huh?
the back, it's, like MLK was intolerant of racism. And, and it goes through all of these, like Bono was intolerant of poverty or,
Yes.
so it goes through all these things and you go, oh yeah, okay, I guess I'm intolerant too.
It's like, yeah, I am intolerant of things, certain things.
Sure, but the word tolerance and intolerance has such a wackadoo definition right now that
Yeah, I mean, when we think of tolerance right now, we don't think of actually being tolerant. We think of people standing in the streets yelling and screaming at each other to be tolerant of somebody else that, has no issue about anything.
right. And I love this. They have a description. This is totally a tangent, so it's really good
It's
that we're
okay.
on a
We're
Tuesday.
good.
They have they have, the word tolerance, and they say, well, the contemporary cultural understanding is recognize and respect that every individual's values, truth claims, beliefs, and practices are equally valid. Whereas the biblical understanding is recognize and respect others when you don't share their values, beliefs, and practices. There's a big difference there.
Right.
In that biblical understanding, you are respecting others still, you are recognizing them, but you are not allowing that their practices are equal and just as valid, right?
Or influence you.
Right. So, why did I even bring this up though?
Tolerance.
Oh, and that's the thing that so with this whole letting the Bible influence, or having the Bible influence our law, with we're so in a mode of cultural morality and cultural relevance of, a relevant morality where we let the mainstream culture tell us what is right, what is wrong, what is acceptable, what is good, what is bad.
More like a democratic morality.
So yeah. So when you say everyone should really ask themselves these questions: what do I believe? Why do I believe it? And honestly, and I would say this across the board, because there are lots of people who Americanism is their biblical, like that is their religion, right? Just like the earth, the
Gaia worshipping, and
I don't need green environmentalism is a religion.
It is.
Patriotism can be a religion too. And so instead of that ultimate belief in the Constitution, okay, well, let's back it up further. And what do I believe? And if you find your grounding in biblical principle, then you can look and say, oh, yeah, okay, now I see where the founding fathers got this. And this is why I can support this part in the Constitution, or why I do support this, because I see where it is laid out first, or, set and founded in God first.
Correct.
And so it takes it back. So then you are not, patriot before you're Christian. You're Christian before you're patriot, or you're Christian before you're environmentalist, or whatever.
Yes, you're Christian first.
Yes.
That way you understand, and you can go back on a basis. Okay, well, yes, I would like to protect the environment. Why? Because God told us to take care of of our surroundings. He told us to actually be good stewards of our environment. Sure, that's fine. Understand, though, if you take that too far, you're pushing past the boundaries that God set.
Right.
Right. If you start coming to the idea that you have to kill people in order to save the world, you're wrong. You're a little bit farther off. You need to come back through, maybe reevaluate a little bit.
We are not all animals.
Well,
all animals are not equal. I mean, seriously,
no. We're all mammals, but we're not all animals.
We're all part of God's creation.
Correct.
But Adam and Eve were created, set apart from the rest of creation, and they were told to have dominion over creation, to be good stewards, to care for it, and to tend to it.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Correct. And I tend to my environment by making sure that I am well caffeinated.
It's a great plan.
Yeah, because if I'm not well caffeinated, then I really am not going to be doing anything. I keep myself caffeinated by going to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Ever heard of them?
Hey, that's how I keep myself caffeinated.
That's amazing.
That's how he keeps himself caffeinated.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Like right now, I've got the JFK in my cup.
I just have water in my cup right now, but in the morning,
that's because you're going to bed.
Just like this morning,
right?
You would have found George Washington Carver in my cup, and it was amazing.
Do you like the Carver?
I do. We've had a few. Keith really likes the Calvin Coolidge. But this last time we ordered, we got straight Carver. It is so good, and it has that peanut buttery aroma, and
Yep.
and then like that finishing note is peanutty. It is so
Right.
good.
And that finishing
just-
note is because it's a lighter coffee roast. See,
Okay.
lighter coffee roasts have a sort of fruity, nutty kind of go to it, and so the coffee itself lends to that,
Yes.
which
It
is why it blends so well.
it is so good.
Yes.
So good. I
oh.
heard this morning, and correct me if I'm wrong, I heard,
What? What'd you heard?
well, I heard Brad say something about Bells of Liberty chocolate covered strawberry is coming back
It might be.
due to popular demand.
Oh, well, yeah, it's popular for sure. Like that thing was
Right.
amazing.
Well, so that's exciting.
Yeah, because I
Super,
mean
super
that
exciting.
it's sold out within like 2 hours of them putting out the
Yeah.
special. Like, and that was going for donations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is, I was very excited to hear that. So the next time I need to make an order, which every day I get closer and closer.
I know, right? It is actually I
Like,
need to
oh,
make one
that's one to
tonight.
add.
I have to make one tonight. Anyway, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. It is historically great coffee.
You will not regret it.
Oh no.
Best purchase you could make all day.
Right. And I will put out the same thing that Dylan does. If you don't like it, send it to me. I'll drink it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Or Carrie. Carrie will too. But
I would
if
be
you don't
happy.
like it, if you don't like any single bag or any single flavor, send it to me. Just ask me for the address. I'll give it to you. Send me your coffee. I'll have it. I will take it all.
So good.
And that's not me being greedy. That's me making sure that things don't go to waste because I am a good steward of my
There
environment.
you go. See, you're being a good steward of your environment, good
And look,
steward of coffee.
Full circle right there. Full circle.
Perfect. Nice. Well done.
Thank you. But okay, so I don't get it.
Okay.
Going back to the laws thing, going back to making sure that we're founded on some sort of biblical basis and understanding. Okay, so where I kind of get off track here with these folks, where they're like, no, we can't have Christian faith dictate our laws. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Any other country in the world, take every other country and every other country's laws, okay? Compare those, or any other country's foundational laws. Compare those foundational laws to America's. Which one do you actually have more freedoms with? Which ones have actually produced the type of environment to allow you, person who does not want to do anything and person who loves to sneer and jeer at the entire way of life that we've founded for the past 200 some years, that person it's given you the ability to do that without having to spend your entire life digging in the dirt?
Yep.
What other country has done that and caused less strife within it?
That one
That
time.
time in band camp. That's yes. No, and there isn't one. There isn't one at all. And this also goes to people that do racism, right? This goes to racism, not just because they say, well, America's racist and their laws are racist. No, if the laws are founded on all men are created equal, we find these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Well, how could we find those truths to be self-evident if we didn't first believe in something that created that idea?
Right.
Right? So if all men are created equal, where does racism come in there?
It doesn't, but you're talking about some rich white male landowners
Right.
who had slaves. And
Right.
So,
Yes.
you
Right.
go.
And we go back to that and then we say, oh, well, there's countries in Europe today that have less problems with racism. Yeah. You want to know why? Because they're mostly white, Nordic, European. Mostly
Right.
white, Nordic, and European. But yeah, no, how about China? China doesn't have racism. Yes, they do. They're
do.
killing anyone of Muslim faith, anyone of Christian faith, anyone that doesn't look like them because they could potentially go against the state.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. Not that they will, but potentially go against the state.
And your point is?
My point is, if you haven't caught it yet, you're in the country that is not only the freest, not only the least racial, but has given you such prosperity that you can complain about the dumbest, stupidest thing in the world and get a platform for it because nobody cares.
That's true. I know people complain and that's fine, but
Right.
yeah, like anyone can have a platform.
Yeah, we can have a platform and we can have a following for that platform of the stupidest, idealistic, unconscionable misunderstanding of logic.
So now would be a perfect time again to plug mojo50.com.
Right.
And,
yes, that's mojo50.com, mojo50.com, where free speech is free. That's us here.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, anyone can get a following.
Mm-hmm.
The dumbest things get followings. You just go to YouTube for 5 seconds and you can see.
Oh, go to the TikToks.
TikTok is something I've seen some of the videos, but apparently I have a couple of nephews on there.
It's okay. Even if you did get a TikTok, you'd never actually have to do anything. You could just scroll through the videos and it's there. It's there for video, just consumption.
Right.
But scroll through TikTok. It's the new version of Vine. Have you heard of Vine? Do you remember Vine?
I've never heard of Vine.
Oh, Vine back in the day was like 8 to 15 second videos, and people were making like the stupidest stuff in the world.
Okay.
And that was how that was it. People were actually making tons of money on Vine. Now people are making tons of money on TikTok.
So they can make money on TikTok.
Oh, they can make money from promoting themselves on TikTok. They can't actually make money from TikTok. They can make videos, which then make them famous, which then directs to the YouTube channels, and the YouTubes get hits, and then they get money from YouTubes.
Okay.
Which we can't do here on Mojo 50 or Defenders Live because we're political. And if we are political in nature and on the wrong side of that political spectrum, we get kind of perma-banned from ever making money off of YouTube. So, whatever.
Okay.
I don't care. I've never made money off of YouTube anyway.
Right.
So,
it takes a while.
I could, because we're in America,
mm-hmm.
I could make that my platform.
Right.
YouTube should be paying me for my content.
Right.
And I would be able to get a following for that. I could get millions and millions of people for that. But is that really a problem?
Is it a problem?
Yeah, that YouTube isn't paying me?
No, I mean, they're a company. It's irritating as a consumer to these algorithms that or even just them point blank saying, oh no, this hurts community standards,
right?
Because it doesn't agree with the higher ups of YouTube's political thoughts or religious beliefs.
Sure, but is it actually something that should be worth airing out and creating a platform on and making a big fuss about?
I think that to point it out, to make, I mean, like talking about it right now,
sure,
absolutely appropriate.
Right.
So to take them to court,
yeah,
well,
that's
no,
what I mean.
Because I mean, it's their company. They can do that if they want.
Correct.
Correct. I don't have to be a consumer.
Should we sue McDonald's for making coffee too hot?
We should sue McDonald's because their food is bad.
But is it?
Yes, it is. It's horrible and it's bad for you.
But is it? Is it bad for you, or is it just people are consuming way too much of something, and because they're consuming way too much of it, the over use of it is what's bad.
No, in my opinion, the taste is bad, the overuse of it is bad, and it is not good for you. That is not my opinion. It's just not good for you. So.
Well, I mean, I do prefer Wendy's, but still.
Yes, actually, I would too. Wendy's is pretty decent.
But then again, Baconators. So that's pretty bad for you. If you consider McDonald's bad for you, you also need to consider that Wendy's is Baconator is probably going to be bad for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't order a Baconator either.
I do. I do all the time.
I know. I believe it. I believe it.
All the time, and I love it.
Yes. Now, I'm not a policeman for that sort of stuff. Like, I like having the calories shown on menus for my own personal benefit. I don't think it should be legally mandated.
Right. It shouldn't be legally mandated. But
right.
There are so many things that shouldn't be legally mandated.
Right. And that would not be a place where the Bible is influencing the law either.
Correct. That's a place where people are, and stupid people at that. It's like, why do we have that? Would be side tangent here. That would be like putting a do not use on the roof warning sticker for a leaf blower.
Yes.
Do not use while standing on a roof.
Is there really
a
sticker like?
Yes.
Seriously?
Do not use while standing on a roof. Do not use while on a ladder. Yes.
Okay, so the whole suing over commonsensical things is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, right.
It is. It's just foolishness.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Yes, exactly. But that's what I'm talking about. We live in a society today to where everything that we just mentioned is suable, and it is available to make laws about, and it is available for somebody to make a platform out of. We have such an awesome life because of the foundations of our country and how the world has been able to form around what we started here in America. Not us, obviously, but our founders started in America. That all we have to worry about here in America and in all, quote, civilized countries are the stupid, piddly things. That's what we have to worry about now. We don't have to worry about starvation because most people are dying from being too fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have that as a problem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. In general, yeah.
Right. In general, we don't have anything that's not problematic for us, especially in America.
Yes.
You know, the poorest people in America have, they have a TV. They eat steak once a week. You know, they they have more than some of the richest folks in third world countries. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to complain about here. But we being human.
Complain.
Right, because that's nature. We're that's human nature. We have to find something that's wrong. And if we don't,
I disagree. No, I'm just kidding.
you don't. No, you don't. And when we don't have a basis and a foundation in the same ideology and understanding, what becomes wrong is another person's belief structure. Mm-hmm. And then we have to fight that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I think I do. But I think I would go back again to saying the biblical understanding is respect and recognition of the fact that other people have different belief structures and being respectful of that. But as a Christian, I mean, either we believe what Jesus said when he said, I am the way, the truth, the life, or we don't.
Exactly. And if we don't, then, I love you.
Go back to reading the Bible more.
Maybe. That's probably a good idea. Anyway, sorry, Lep, it was a low bell count night. I take full responsibility, but let's get to the counts tonight. We're going to have to do something about this. All right, Lep. I got to get you to put the volume up, buddy. It's way too soft. Nobody can hear it anymore. I don't know what's going on, but for some reason...
You got an A.
We got an A. We're getting an A. That's what we're doing. We're getting an A. Anyway, Carrie Malinek, Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio. Good night, everybody.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey!